Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking at a really dark and pivotal moment. The Direct Action Day and the Great Calcutta Killings in 1946.
Yes, a moment many sources point to as, well, the point where things truly broke down.
Exactly. The point where, the idea of a united India maybe became impossible and partition seemed almost inevitable. We've got sources here that really dig into how politics and, frankly, terrible violence led to that.
It's crucial to set the scene. We're talking post-World War II, Britain's leaving India, and you have these two huge competing visions.
Right.
The Indian National Congress pushing for one united secular India, and then Muhammad Ali Jinnah and the Muslim League demanding Pakistan, a separate nation for the subcontinent's Muslims. The stakes couldn't have been higher.
So Britain tries one last time with this cabinet mission in 46, their last chance, really. British were, trying to manage their exit. They wanted a stable handover, ideally to one successor state.
So they sent the cabinet mission.
Yeah.
In March.
That's right, a high-powered delegation. Their job was basically to broker a deal for independence. They proposed this quite intricate plan, didn't they? A sort of three-tier federation.
That's right. A very weak central government just handling things like defense, foreign policy, communications. Then these three big provincial groups. One mostly Hindu, one Muslim majority in the northwest, and then Bengal and Assam together. And the provinces themselves would have a lot of autonomy.
And crucially, it rejected a fully sovereign Pakistan, but offered the substance of it through this compulsory grouping idea.
Exactly. But here's the fatal flaw, the absolute core of the problem.
Yeah.
People interpreted it completely differently.
How so?
Well, the Muslim League accepted it. For them, that compulsory grouping, that was the foundation for Muslim autonomy they wanted.
Okay.
But the Congress, they accepted too, but crucially with reservations. They believed provinces should get to choose whether to join a group. Think Assam, or the end of UFP, they didn't want them forced in.
So they weren't even agreeing to the same thing, fundamentally.
Not at all. They agreed on paper, but envisioned two totally different futures.
And then came the moment it all fractured. July 10th, 1946, Jawaharlal Nehru's press conference.
Yes. He stated that Congress was completely uncommitted and felt free to modify the plan.
Which, for Jinnah and the League,
was confirmation of their worst fears. Proof, as they saw it, of Congress duplicity, of inevitable Hindu caste domination. Maulana Azad himself called it one of those events that just changes history, made partition certain, he said.
Wow.
So unsurprisingly, the League formally pulled out. July 29th, the constitutional path was blocked.
And that's when Jinnah made that famous statement, "Today we have said goodbye to constitutions and constitutional methods," calling for Direct Action Day, August 16th, 1946. To achieve Pakistan through, direct action. What did that even mean?
That's the dangerous part, the ambiguity. Some leaders talked about peaceful protests, hurdles, shutdowns.
Okay.
But Jinnah's own rhetoric was way more confrontational. He warned, we will either have a divided India or destroyed India. And in Calcutta, that ambiguity turned violent. Fast.
Incendiary pamphlets started appearing.
Yes, calling for jihad, explicitly inciting violence. Things like, infidels, your end is not far away, you will be massacred. Horrific stuff.
And Calcutta itself was just primed for conflict.
A real tinderbox. You had a Hindu-majority city, but it was the capital of a Muslim-majority province, Bengal. Huge economic divides, too.
And then the actions of the chief minister, H.S. Suhrawardy, a Muslim League leader, declaring August 16th a public holiday.
Hugely controversial. Opposition warned it would just free people up to cause trouble, but he did it anyway.
And worse, there are allegations about essentially weaponizing state power.
Very serious allegations. That Suhrawardy told a huge rally the police and military would not interfere. Basically, an open invitation to chaos. Some sources even claim he was in the police control room, actively hindering operations.
A chilling precedent. A provincial government potentially enabling violence.
Precisely.
What happens when the state isn't just failing to protect, but is seen as actively partisan?
It creates a vacuum, and violence becomes privatized. Individuals and groups take matters into their own hands because they feel abandoned or even encouraged by the authorities.
And that's exactly what happened on August 16th. Muslim League activists started by enforcing the hurdle, the strike, often using intimidation.
Then, after Suhrawardy's rally, large mobs began systematically looting and burning Hindu shops and homes. Critically, the police were largely absent or ineffective in these initial stages.
Then it turned even uglier over the next few days. By the next day, August 17th, the situation flipped violently. Hindu and Sikh communities launched fierce, organized retaliation.
It descended into absolute butchery. A British military observer described seeing murder of a worst type. It became this gruesome street-by-street fight for territory.
And organized groups were definitely fanning the flames. The Muslim League National Guard on one side.
And figures like Gopal Patha, a Hindu strongman, on the other. He apparently told his militia, if you hear of one murder, commit 10.
By the 18th and 19th, the violence became, well, horribly symmetrical. Organized Hindu and Sikh mobs started launching retaliatory attacks. Groups led by figures like Gopal Patha were involved. It became full-blown communal warfare.
The human cost must have been immense.
Staggering.
Yes, by the 17th, 18th, 19th, it became this reciprocal cycle of just brutal murder and butchery. Organized groups got involved.
Militias.
Exactly, the Muslim League National Guard on one side, and then Hindu strongmen like Gopal Patha forming their own defense groups, but also retaliating viciously, issuing orders like, if you hear of one murder, you commit 10.
Just unimaginable. A total breakdown, privatization of violence, as some call it.
Yes, the city's underworld basically took over in parts.
And the human cost. It's staggering.
Estimates vary, but maybe 5,000, perhaps even 10,000 people killed. Over 100,000 homeless.
Communities. Reports suggest Hindu areas suffered much greater property and financial damage.
The eyewitness accounts are harrowing. People remembering nights spent on rooftops, armed with whatever they could find, hot water, chili powder, acid bulbs.
The actor Sumitra Chatterjee spoke of seeing a Muslim trader just butchered in the street outside his house. Something he never forgot.
Margaret Bourke-White's photos for Life magazine. The vultures on the corpses. Just ghastly.
They really brought the horror home to the world. We read accounts of children witnessing killings, and this horrifying new aspect targeting women. Rape, mutilation, being burned alive, a weapon of dishonor.
The police records from the time are filled with these horrific stories. It marked a new terrible low.
And the violence didn't stay in Calcutta, did it?
No, it ignited what's been called a chain of fire. Retaliatory massacres flared up across northern India, Noakhali, then Bihar. It just spread.
How did the leaders react to this madness?
It solidified their positions, really. Gandhi went on a courageous peace mission, walking through villages. Nehru was horrified but resolute, even talking about bombing rioters from the air if needed.
Wow.
Sardar Patel, the ultimate pragmatist in Congress, saw it as final proof that any kind of power-sharing government with the League was just impossible.
And Jinnah.
For Jinnah, the violence became the irrefutable argument for Pakistan. See? We can't live together, he argued. This proves it.
So the sheer horror essentially convinced Congress that partition, as awful as it was, might be better than endless civil war.
It seems so. It effectively gave Jinnah that veto power and sealed the fate of a united India. It even led to demands to partition Bengal itself to make sure Calcutta stayed in India.
Calcutta, the crucible, as you said, where abstract politics became unbelievably brutal reality, destroying trust.
It irrevocably forged partition in fire and blood. Looking back now, what does this all mean? The memory of these killings is still incredibly potent, isn't it? Still contested.
Oh, definitely. It gets brought up in politics, used for mobilization. You see things like recent films, the Bengal Files, for example, stirring up debate all over again.
So the past isn't really past.
Not at all. Which makes the work being done by oral history projects so vital. Groups like the 1947 Partition Archive, the Kolkata Partition Museum, they're trying to capture the human stories, the nuances from all sides before those voices are gone forever.
That work seems incredibly important.
It really is, getting beyond the simple narratives.
After Calcutta, the idea of a united India just wasn't politically viable anymore. Division seemed like the only way out of the fire. Which leaves us with a final thought, something for you, the listener, to consider. When societies carry such deep historical wounds, like Calcutta, like partition, how do we actually navigate memory? How do we tell these complex stories to foster real understanding, maybe even healing?
Or do we just keep letting the past fuel new conflicts? It's a tough question.
Indeed it is. Thank you for joining us on The Deep Dive.